Today I'm part of a collaboration for Salvage Saturday, where we would transform salvage items found around our house or our garage. I use some salvage wood and metal, and I'm super excited. Welcome to my channel, Freckled Mom DIY. I'm Devin. If you're new, welcome. And if you're returning, hey, let's see what I found. This first piece is adorable. It's a metal tray, which I love vintage, I love metal, and I paid $6 for this, even though it was broken. And I had no idea what I was going to do with it until Teresa told me about this challenge. So here I am with a piece of foam. This is just me tracing it out and just getting the size of it. I wasn't sure exactly what I was going to do, but I decided I needed a base for it. So I just cut it out with my scissors, and then I went in with my razor blade and just sliced it. And I'm just peeling off all the extra. I got a little rip there. That's okay. No one's going to see it. So I am just cleaning it up right now and getting it ready to go into the tray. Now you guys know I love my vintage items, which means sometimes they are broken, so you have to fix things sometimes. So this is upside down, and I am just laying it in to make sure it fits, and it fits perfect. So I'm going through with my Starbond glue, and I am just going through around the edges. I am using the darker, thicker Starbond, so that way you can't really see the glue. And then I'm going through with my hot glue, and again, this is upside down just so I can put that piece down. And then once I feel like it is dry, I'm going to flip it over and get ready to make my top. So I wasn't sure again what I was going to do, but I had my popsicle sticks, and I decided to make some reinforcements just so it wouldn't fall down. So I'm just hot gluing them to the bottom of this little board, and I'm just kind of like stacking it up against the metal so that way it doesn't fall down, if that makes any sense, because I do want this to be functional, and I wasn't sure the best way to make it functional, but this seems to be working. So here is some sticks. These are the Walmart craft sticks, so they are a little bit bigger, and I'm just laying it out how I think it looks good. And I realize I'm gonna have to do something for the middle because it's not going to fit all the way, and I don't want like the round pieces on every piece, if that makes sense. So I kind of want it to look like shiplap. So I started with my scissors, and that was not the easiest, so I ended up getting out my little snippers here. You can get these on Amazon or at Home Depot. I will put it down in my Amazon store for you down in my description. And I'm just cutting it however the size is. And you can see I'm measuring here, and I'm doing a couple different things. Again, this is something you would do if you had your own piece. So none of your measurements are going to be the same unless you have the exact same broken metal piece that I have. So this is just me trying to figure out what is the best way to lay this out. So now I am going to do the shiplap effect, and I want to see how many of these craft sticks I'm going to need. And I'm going to start and hot glue the base of it. That way I have something that's not moving. You know what I mean? So it's just easier for me to measure things. And here I'm going now. I'm just going to go through with my pencil, and I'm just going to mark where I need to cut. And I'm going to take out my shears, and I'm going to cut it. So what I'm doing here, because I had shoulder surgery, all I did was put a little bit of pressure on it, and then I bent it with my opposite hand, and that was so much better than actually squeezing it and like using my muscle strength. So if you're not too strong, that's just something I just figured out this time, was that you can just pull up on the wood and it just breaks right off. A nice clean break. I am sanding the edges a little bit just so it's nice and smooth. And now you can see I'm still going through and just measuring where I need to cut. This was super simple. At first I was a little nervous, you know, and but as I started going, everything just fit really nice and lined up very well. So I did have to go through and cut the popsicle stick in half just to fit it down below in those little spots, but it fit really good. It cut very well, so it fit just perfect. Now I am going through and I am hot gluing all the pieces down. I am holding it on the opposite side just to give it a little bit more security, just so I didn't push it down. And then I'm going to stain this with my antique wax. Most times I use a baby wipe, but this time I wanted it really dark, so I just painted it on. And now I'm going through with a little bit of gold paint, and I am just going over all the detail just so it stands out a little bit more. I was really contemplating not painting this because I really love antique vintage metal, but I wanted to let it stand out. I think this is so adorable. I love that it's functional, and I just love antique pieces, and I think it fits well in my house, and I'm just so happy how I was able to transform this. Let me know down in the comments what you think. This is a collaboration put together by Teresa B. DIY. Also joining with me is Jamie from Simple Roots Simple Living and Trish and Kay from the Crafting Cousins. Make sure you head down in my description to find the link to the playlist and the other ladies' channels. If you're new to my channel and you like crafting and DIYs, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell. You can also find me on Instagram and Facebook as Freckled Mom. So I had some 2x4s, and these were just sitting in my garage, and then I had these little planters, and then I went to the store and I bought these wall mounted planter rings. And so I'm gonna make some planters, and I redid my kitchen, so I needed some new decor to hold down my plants. So I am just painting this with a truffle, and it was a little dark and I really wasn't sure what I wanted, so I wiped it off with a little bit of a paper towel. And I still didn't really like it too much, so I was like, I know I need to add something. So I went through with my ink, and now I am just giving it like a dry brush with the ink, and I'm not going super heavy on it. It is just so I can get an extra layer on it. And then I went through with my antique wax, and this gave it another warm tone to it, but I still felt like I needed more. So I went through with my elephant now, and I did the same thing. I just dry brushed the elephant right on it. I think this was the winner. I was thinking about doing a white or a plaster, but I really think this elephant really did a very nice job blending it together. I went through again with my ink, and I'm just going back and forth, and I'm just doing it until it looks the way I like it. I went through with my linen chalk paint, and I did this to all of my planters. I'm making 2 of these, so I have 6 planters and 6 rings, and here are the rings. And of course I did not grow hair on my hands. This is my husband helping me, and we are just measuring out to make sure we have the right distance in between these. And this was super simple, guys. We just screwed it right into the board. This is such an easy project, and I really did not think I could have made something like this on my own. Well, obviously with my husband's help, but you know what I mean. It was so simple, so easy. And you'll see after, we do have to change where we put it. It is a little high. You'll see how high he did it. And we do have 3 planters on it. So I do need to put it a little lower, but we just added a little sawtooth hanger on the back of it. And that was a little too light, so we went through and did one of those little triangle like picture holders, but we just needed one, and that was enough, guys. And this is it. And of course I needed to change up my plants a little bit, but we are redoing our kitchen, so I am not doing that yet. But I love how this came out, and I just think it is so sweet. I love this so much, and I can't wait to add some more lively plants. Okay, we are back to some metal. So my husband got this at a clean out. He had 4 of them, so I just took one, and I love this. And this little board I'm showing you here, I'm going to hang on it. I made this with my chalk couture. I did a live earlier this week, So make sure you head down and check that out if you haven't seen that yet. And then I just cleaned this up with some soap and water and a little brush. I didn't want to go too heavy because I really wanted that antique color to still show through. So I have some mesh here from Dollar Tree, and I have some pipe cleaners, and I also have a little bit of embellishment also from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to make a bow. This was a little difficult, so I cut this first just so for the sizing. Now this is a little difficult to see, so I did add a different bow here just to show you guys how to make a bow. So this again was from another project, but this is just so you can see how to make a bow a little bit easier. This is a wire ribbon from the Dollar Tree. I am laying it down. You can see what I'm doing. I'm crossing it over. When I get to the middle, I pinch it and I spin it over just so that way they're all facing the same direction. I push it down, I pinch it, twist it, and roll it over. So I'm going to keep doing that.
We'll be out till late under the starshine.
Here I am now wrapping it all with a little bit of jute twine, and I'm going to tie a knot in it. This is just for the center of the bow. I'm making some tails here, and you can see what I did. I just crossed it over, pushed down that little hole, and then I'm gonna lay it right over my bow. This is how I do it. It's easy for me because I'm not the best bow maker. I'll put the link to this video in my description so you can watch it again if you need to. Now I'm just going to add a little bit of embellishment here, and this again is from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just cutting off pieces that I want to use, and I'm going to hot glue this right to my little bow here. And I love this bow. I think it is so sweet, and I am totally in love with my reindeer crossing. That's a transfer from Couture, and if you want to hear more about that, let me know. But right now I'm just fluffing up this bow, and I'm so excited. It is so adorable, and I'm just adding a little snowflake, and I'm gonna hot glue this right to my chalkboard tag. This chalkboard tag I got from Walmart for like $2. So I think this is adorable. I can swap this out anytime I want to change up the sign, but I love this metal, and I am just so in love that I found this. Well, actually my husband found it, but I found it in the garage after he left it in there, and I just think all of this together is so sweet.
Cold, please hurry. Bring him home before I worry, and his face gets too blurry.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to head down in my description to check out the playlist, as well as my links to my Amazon store and links to connect with me. I'm on Instagram and Facebook as Freckled Mom, and I'd love to see you over there as well. Make sure to hit the bell before you head out so you'll be notified every time I post a new video. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you guys back tomorrow for a new video.